Hello and welcome to Bookish Brits. I'm Rex, and this month I wanted to tell you about a semi-secret book. So, if you are a Brandon Sanderson fan, stay tuned. If you're not, continue watching from curiosity, or I will not be offended if you stop right now. But the book I'm going to be talking about this month is Tress by Brandon Sanderson, which was released as part of his Kickstarter, because as you do, and he's an incredibly prolific author for those of you who are not fans. During lockdown, he wrote 4 secret novels. By secret, I mean that normally what he does is he has a little tracker on his website that tells you how much progress he's making with each of his books and which series they're in. And all of his books are in this wider universe called the Cosmere. So you can read any of the series or any of the books, and they're sort of in this wider universe, but they are or aren't connected depending on how much you dive into them. And rather than writing, well, he did continue to write lots of the books that are in progress on his little website, but there were 4 secret books that he didn't tell anyone that he was writing, that he just went off and did, because that's normal, right? I mean, I wish I could do something like that. And he made them available to fans through a Kickstarter. So for the very cheap price of, I think, like £30 for me, I'm going to get 4 Brandon Sanderson books this year that will be delivered via email each quarter. So the first book, Tress, came out in January, and I've just finished it. I eked it out because I can eat Sanderson like a bowl of crisps. I can just stuff them in my face and then be like, where did all my crisps go? So I was very careful to eke this one out because I really wanted to enjoy it. And like, you know, the next quarter is not far away now, so it won't feel so long in the waiting, especially as I've been waiting for the next Stormlight book for so long. You hear me, Brandon. I've been waiting. Give me that next book. In the meanwhile, he's keeping me entertained. So this is not, as far as I'm aware, connected to any of the other series he's written. Tress is a standalone. It is in the Cosmere. And it has some wonderful Easter eggs for those of you who are obsessed with the Cosmere. You will not be disappointed. I highly suggest that you read Tress. You're going to find stuff about a character called Hoyd, which, if you're a Sanderson nerd, will mean a lot to you. If you're not, don't worry about it. It's totally fine. You don't need to know any of that to read Tress. It's a beautiful story. It's about a girl who grows up in an island in her small community, and then she goes off to rescue her boyfriend and becomes a pirate along the way, essentially. And I love the world building, and he does this so well. He describes a planet that is just not like our own and so different, and really interesting concepts and ideas around what's going on it. And that's what makes the story. It's not a huge book, but it just has great concepts and ideas, and they're always well executed. And Tress is fantastic. There's a talking rat that I bloody love. It's an adventure story, and it starts out that you think it's going to be one thing, and in the typical Brandon, that's my new name, Brandon. In the typical way he does, it changes as the story continues and doesn't quite work out the way you think it's going to work out. And I thoroughly enjoy it because I always enjoy him. If you've ever watched me talk about Sanderson, you've heard me rave on about how great he is. So if you are a fan and you've not read Tress yet, you need to get a copy. And if you're not a fan, I would still suggest it because it was really, really good. Though I'm entirely biased. So sorry about that. I will see you next month for something that I hope is a little bit more accessible. I'm planning to talk about horror a little bit more, mostly because I've been reading more horror. So let's see what we've got next month.